Hello, so welcome to the first week of the Ray of Hope Crochet Along. I'm so glad that you've joined me for this, and we'll be going through this for most of the year, and I hope you enjoy what we have going on. There's so many stitches in this, and I hope you agree that it's an absolutely stunning project. So let's get started with week one. For these videos I'm going to use my Starcraft Special DK, which is an acrylic yarn. So for the lovely photos of the original I use Sheepy's Soft Fun, but I decided to have a go with Starcraft for this as well. So I'm going to start with a magic circle and I'm going to chain 2. So that chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch. Okay, so keeping in the magic circle, we're going to make a double crochet. I'm using a 4mm hook for this, by the way. Got to mention that. Okay, so that's our first double crochet, and that is our first stitch. And I'm going to make 2 more double crochet. 1 and 2. And then I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to repeat the pattern. 3 double crochet, chain 1, 5 times inside the magic circle. Oops. 1, 2 and 3, and chain 1. So I'm going to carry round till I have 5 repeats of that. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. Let's repeat number 3. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet, chain 1, repeat 4, and let's repeat 1, 2, 3 double crochet and chain 1. Oops, it would be if I didn't pull. Let's try that again, shall we? Double crochet, chain 1, and then I'm going to take the end of my magic circle and I'm just going to pull tight, and then I'm going to slip stitch into our first double crochet. I'm just going to pop my stitch marker out there for a second. So to begin round 2, I'm going to chain 1, and then around the post of the first double crochet of round 1 I'm going to make a front post double crochet. And just pop my stitch marker in there. And then in the next stitch I'm going to make a single crochet. Okay. Then I'm going to make another front post double crochet around the next stitch. Okay. And then chain 1. So in each group of 3 double crochet from round 1, you front post double crochet around the first stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then front post double crochet in the third stitch. Chain 1, and then carry on that pattern for every set of double crochet. So you'll have 5 sets in total. So I'm going to finish that round and I shall see you again in a moment. Okay, I've reached the end of that round, and now we need to slip stitch into our first stitch. Okay, so that's that first front post double crochet, and instead of pulling through the orange I'm going to change colour and I'm going to pull through this yellow instead, and just pull that tight. Okay, and now we're ready for round 3. So round 3 we're going to start by chaining 1. I'm going to take that stitch marker out for a second. and we're going to make a front post double crochet around that front post double crochet of round 2. And I'm just going to pop the stitch marker back in there. Okay. So now I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Okay. Then chain 1 again, and I'm going to make another front post double crochet, and that goes around that front post double crochet in round 2. And then I'm going to chain 2. And I'm going to carry that pattern on all the way around. So around the front post double crochet, make another front post double crochet, chain 1, and then the next stitch make a single crochet. We don't skip any stitches. Chain 1, front post double crochet round the front post double in round 2, and chain 2. I'm going to carry that on all the way around. Okay, so I've got to the end of that round, and I'm going to make a slip stitch into the top of that first front post double crochet. Okay, and that is round 3 complete. So now I'm going to carry on with row 4, and I'm going to carry on with the same colour. Okay, so after the slip stitch, I'm going to chain 1, and our first stitch is going to be a front post double crochet around that front post from the previous round. I always say row when I should be saying rounds. Anyway, so front post double crochet around the front post double crochet of round 3, and in the chain 1 space, which is in here, we're going to make a half double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and in the next chain 1 space we'll make another half double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to make the front post double around the front post stitch in round 3. In the chain 2 space we're going to make half double crochet, chain 1 and half double crochet, all in that chain 2 space. Okay, and that's our pattern the whole round. So around the front post double crochet, make another front post double crochet. In the chain 1 space, make a half double crochet, then chain 1. In the next chain space, make another half double crochet, and then front post double crochet around the front post stitch in the previous round. Then we get to the chain 2 space, and then we make a half double crochet, chain 1 and half double crochet, and we carry that pattern around all the way until we get back to the beginning. I'm going to carry on with that, and I shall see you again in a moment. Okay, so I reached the end of that round, and we need to slip stitch into that first stitch, but I'm going to pick the orange back up. So I didn't cut off, I've just let it hang there at the back, and I'm going to bring it up and use it to slip stitch. Ooh, we're getting tangled. Yeah. There we go. And slip stitch into there. So now we're going to start round 5, and I'm using the same colour as we did in the middle. So we're going to chain 1, take that stitch marker out for a second, and again we're going to front post double crochet around that first front post in the previous round, then pop stitch marker back in. Okay, so in the chain 1 space, which is between our 2 half double crochets, we're going to make a double crochet. I'm going to chain 2, and in the same space double crochet, and then we're going to front post double crochet around that front post stitch. Okay, so into our next stitch, it's just the half double crochet. Oh, sorry, it's not the half double, it's the yeah, it's the half double, chain 1, half double. So into that half double crochet, let's make a single crochet. Okay, and now we're going to make a single crochet spike stitch. I'm going to go all the way down here to row 1. So in that chain space in row 1, which is down here, put your hook in there, reach back up, pull your yarn through and pull up, and you're going to pull it up to the same height as the single crochet you just made, and finish, pull through, so you get the nice long spike stitch. And then you're going to single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so that's the pattern we're going to follow all the way around. So in the next stitch we're going to make front post double crochet, in the chain 1 space in the middle of those half double crochets, and make a double crochet, chain 2, and in the same space make another double crochet, and then front post double crochet around the front post in the last round. Okay. Then in the next stitch, which is half double, we'll make a chain 1, and then we're going to do the spike stitch all the way down here in round 1, and just pull up like that, and in the next stitch make a single crochet. Okay, so I'm going to carry it on that round, and I shall see when I get back to the beginning. Okay, so I've got to the end of the round, and now I'm going to slip stitch into that first front post double crochet. I'm going to take that out, a stitch marker, and I'm going to cut off the orange. We'll come back to that colour later, but for now, so I'll cut off the yellow as well. So now we're going to join with our new colour. So I've got a nice pale yellow here, and we're going to join that into the front post double crochet after a spike stitch. So this is the spike stitch, and I'm going to join into this front post double crochet here. And I'm going to join using a standing stitch. So for a standing stitch, just wrap the yarn around your fingers, pull through like that, it's your hook, and I'm going to join it as a back post double crochet. So I need to yarn over, so I've got 2 loops on my hook. You'll need to hold them in place for this, and I'm going to go around the back. So the front post you go through the front, the back post we go round the back like so, and double crochet. So that's in the front post after our spike stitch. Okay, so we've got our standing back post double crochet. Now we're going to make another back post double crochet around our next double crochet. So that's the one where we made the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the chain space. Okay, so then we're going to chain 3, and then around the other double crochet I'm going to make another back post double crochet. I'm going to back post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. So first one is around that second double crochet. Then we're going to do it around our front post double crochet, and then I'm going to make another one around the single crochet. And I'm going to chain one and make 3 back double crochet again. So the first one will be around the single crochet after the spike stitch. So the chain one sits over the spike stitch. Then we go around the front post double crochet. So that's back post double crochet number 2, and back post double crochet number 3 is around that double crochet there, and then we chain 3 again, and that's our pattern going round. So we've got a standing back post double crochet, then another back post double crochet around that double crochet V there, chain 3, then back post double crochet around the next double crochet, around the next front post double crochet, and around the single crochet next to the spike stitch. You chain 1, skip the spike stitch, back post double crochet around the next single crochet, back post double around the front post double, and then back post double around the double crochet before chaining 3 again and repeating round. So I'm going to carry on with that, and I shall see you once we get all the way around again. Okay, so I've reached the end of the round, and I'm going to slip stitch into that standing back post double crochet. I'm going to take that stitch marker out. So for round 7 I'm sticking with the same colour, and now we're just going to slip stitch across these stitches and into the chain 3 space. Okay, so we're going to single crochet. I'm just going to mark that with a stitch marker. And we're going to double crochet all in the chain 3 space, and now we're going to spike stitch into round 4. So we're now in round 7, round 6, round 5, and round 4 is here. So we see this chain space just here, and we're stitching there. We're going to put it up high. You want to put up higher than your double crochet, and chain 1, not chain 1, pull through as a single crochet. Okay, then into the chain 3 space again, same chain 3 space, going to double crochet and single crochet. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to skip these stitches. I'm going to go into this chain 1 space. Okay, and into there we're going to make 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're making that lovely shell. And when we've done that, we're going to go into the next chain 3 space, and we're going to repeat what we did before. So single crochet, double crochet, then into that chain space in round 4, 6, 5 in round here. I make a spike stitch, I'm going to pull it up higher than our double crochet, like that. And carrying on in the same chain 3 space, double crochet and single crochet, and then going straight into this chain 1 space and make 9 double crochet. And we're going to carry that pattern on round until we get back to the beginning. So I'm going to carry on with that, and I shall see you in a moment. Okay, so I finished that round, and we're going to slip stitch into that beginning single crochet, and then I'm going to cut that yarn and pull that through. I'm just going to pull that stitch marker out for a second, and I'm going to bring back this lovely orange colour that we started in round. So we're going to join the orange back into to start round 8, and we're going to join it into the double crochet before the spike stitch. It's just in there. Okay, so wrap your yarn around your fingers, hook in there. If you haven't done a standing stitch before, there is a link in the description to this video to another video to show you how to make it. And we're just going to join into that double crochet as a single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet into the top of the spike stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in the double crochet and the single crochet as well. Okay, so 4 single crochet altogether. Okay, so into the first double crochet of the shell we're going to slip stitch and then chain 5, and then we're going to go to the last double crochet of the shell, which is here, and I'm going to slip stitch into there, and then just flip that chain behind the shell, so it just sits on the back like that. Okay. And then we're going to single crochet into each of these stitches round, so into that single crochet, into the double crochet, into the top of the spike stitch, double crochet and single crochet. Just single crochet into each one of them, and then slip stitch into that first stitch of that shell and chain 5. Then we jump to the last double crochet of that shell and slip stitch into there as well, and just push the chain behind. And we're going to carry on that all the way around till we're back to the beginning. So I'm going to do that, and I shall be back in a moment. Okay, so I've got all the way around, and I've slip stitched in that last double crochet of the shell. Now I'm just going to single crochet in that single crochet, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into our standing single crochet that we started in. And that's round 8 complete, and that's also the first part of our KEL complete. So that's it for this week. You can go ahead and cut off all your yarn and weave in your ends, and I shall see you next week for part 2. Bye for now.